Yeah, so we'll just get started. I had a little bit to talk about over here with the Canadian politics side of things. We have the NDP leader, Jagmeet Singh, and trying to sound like he's going after, Trudeau, but they're clearly still in cahoots with each other, those fucking slime bags. I can't stand those two guys. There's a video here from True North again. It says NDP leader Jagmeet Singh and PM Justin Trudeau both place blame on the previous Harper government for the influx of illegal guns and drugs crossing the border. Trudeau has been in office since 2015, so we'll just have a little listen here.
The last Conservative government fired 1,100 border officers. That allowed illegal guns and drugs to flow freely into our country. We are all paying the price of that callous Conservative cut. I want those border officers rehired. I want thousands more recruited, and I want their mandate expanded so they can patrol the entire border. Will the Prime Minister do that?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. President, Mr. Speaker, my honourable colleague is exactly right. Conservative cuts hurt Canadians. Conservative cuts hurt our border security. Conservative cuts just hurt the Canadian economy. That is why it is so bewildering to see the Conservative leader continuing to stand up in cuts for dental care, cuts on housing investments, cuts for the kinds of services and benefits that Canadians need, whether it's a tax break for the next few months or school food programs. The Conservatives only know how to cut. That's not how Canadians prosper.
All right. Well, Trudeau is obviously a liar. There's no question there. And same with Jagmeet. I mean, the guy shows up to work in a Maserati, piece of shit. And they're talking about conservative cuts. And what they quite don't understand is if we don't make cuts like dental and all these things that they're trying to create or pull more money into or borrow more money for, then we won't be able to replace those border guards. Where's the money going to come from to bring the border guards back? If we start borrowing money to pay for everybody's dental and we start dishing out $250 checks, where's the money to replace the border guards going to come from, guys? You ever think about that? You ever think about where the money comes from? You're borrowing it from the Bank of Canada. Who funds the Bank of Canada? These guys are absolute bullshitters. Don't ever fall for their garbage. The money comes from the Bank of Canada. And when the money comes from the Bank of Canada, that means it's being funded by the wealthiest elites in the world. Nobody but wealthy people donate their money to central banks. Just remember that. I can't stand Justin Trudeau, and you got Christia Freeland. She's been speaking out on some bullshit too. This was a pretty funny video. It says here from Cat Canada. Rent has doubled, food prices have doubled, but Freeland thinks a working mom should be excited about saving 60 cents on a rotisserie chicken. Like, for real. They think that cutting taxes on prepared foods. Let's have a listen.
Why don't we together give Canadians a tax break for the holidays? That's right. Why don't we lift the GST on prepared foods so a working mom can pick up a rotisserie chicken on the way home? Why don't we together...
So a working mom can... and you can hear in the background the other side shouting, cut the carbon tax, the amount of money we will save in our daily lives if they were to cut the carbon tax is far beyond what 60 cents from the grocery store might save us. Most foods, don't forget, most foods aren't taxable. Most foods don't have taxes. The only foods that have taxes are the prepared ones. But here, let's have a listen to Christia Freeland in this interview. Finance Minister, and again, this is from the True North. They have a YouTube channel as well, so I want to make sure to let you all know to give them a listen and search them and follow them. But Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland is confronted over the delayed release of public accounts and fall economic statement. But let's just have a listen to this video of hers, and you guys will.
Just on the, it's the beginning of December. We still haven't seen the public accounts or this report, the annual financial report that I understand shows the deficit and other figures like that. I've heard some concerns that this is showing basically a troubling lack of transparency around our fiscal picture right now. We still haven't seen the fiscal update. So I'm wondering, what is your response to those concerns that, MPs are voting on new spending and they don't even know the audited financial picture from the last fiscal year at this point?
Yeah, thank you for the question. The public accounts will be published this year. And when it comes to the fall economic statement, I don't have an announcement to make about that today. We are very keen to deliver a fall economic statement.
She's sitting there thinking, how can I arrange this lie to get me off this podium, out of this room, because I'm really uncomfortable right now? That's what she's basically thinking and saying.
The reality is, business of the House is being filibustered. That has real consequences in terms of the government's ability to do the work that we need to do for Canadians.
So are you saying, if I understand right, that the reason these haven't been released, the report's not the fiscal update, is because of the filibuster, or why have they not been released?
No, the second part of my answer was regarding the fall economic statement, which you asked about too.
Yes, but what about those reports? Why have they not been? They're always, or usually, as I understand it, by now they're both published. So why haven't they been this year?
They'll be published this year.
Oh man, she's infuriating. She is an infuriating individual to look at, to listen to. Mm-hmm. Oh, mm-hmm. Yeah. She doesn't give a fuck about anybody. You can see it in her face. Like, everything goes in one ear, out the other, because she knows what her job is. She knows what she's supposed to be doing, and that is fucking everybody over as fast and as quickly as possible. I mean, most people who see my videos, they know about the World Economic Forum, and they know all about, the 2030 agenda, the Great Reset, all that stuff. And, when you think about "you will be happy" or "you will own nothing and be happy" as a slogan, and you listen and you put all the pieces of the puzzle together, and you listen to Freeland and you listen to Trudeau and you listen to Singh, everything they want to do is continue to reduce the amount of money we earn, reduce the amount of money we can spend, and force us into that exact slogan. You will own nothing and be happy. You will go to work. You will be a slave to your debts to us, and we will ensure that you have a very bare minimum life. You will live in the middle for the rest of your life. There will be nothing beyond that. And on some level, I mean, there is a degree of sort of serenity and peace that idea can create, because, I mean, isn't that really what we want? We all want to balance our lives, right? But in order to truly be happy, balancing your life has to be a choice. You can't be forced into a balanced life, because that takes away the freedom of choice. That takes away the freedom of, it's socialism. It's just like Ron says, it's socialism. I mean, and it's disgusting to see the energy that she has. It's the same as Trudeau. It's that, like, just, I'll tell you what you need to hear, because at the very end of what she just said, it'll be available this year. Okay, that's all you're going to say? I mean, if it's going to be available this year, like you say, which is within the next 3 weeks or 3.5 weeks, you should probably have a pretty good idea of, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. What do you think? But she knows damn well the reason why they're hiding that and keeping that, because if they release it, it's going to prove, unless of course they're trying to, the reason why it hasn't been come up, because they're still doctoring it in some way, which is probably the real reason. They're somehow figuring out a way to, smudge numbers here and, move things here and create a fake, you know, charity here that they're donating to and moving money into, and because what she is basically saying with her body language and the way that she responds is, if we show you this, you're going to know, the whole country is going to know we can't afford dental, and we can't afford this $250 check and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's just no way that we can continue to listen to these people. It has to, I don't want to get in trouble for inciting some, revolt against the country or the government, but we need to start uniting. We need to start uniting and making sure that we do not allow these powers to continue in our country. That being said, I mean, again, for all we know, Pierre is just the other wing of the same bird, I mean, but I've said it before, I'll say it again. We don't have any choice but Pierre. So we put Pierre in, we watch him closely, and we ensure that he doesn't screw us over. And if he does, we're right back where we are. We come right back on these cameras, and we get all the people out here, in this war for information, because that's what it is right now, right? We don't fight battles on the battlefield anymore. We fight it with information. And I'm just one of the small infantry that's storming the beaches, trying to help and ensure that the word gets out there. And people like myself who, and the pleb and Mr. Sunshine and all these guys who are, far ahead and doing really well in this sphere. Those guys are the lieutenants now. They're out there giving orders and helping, making sure that we can win this fight. And make no mistakes, it is a war for information. That's what's going on. Canada is hiding and fighting to control everything we see and hear. And who knows, maybe that's a reason. There's a reason why I didn't really see the Daniel Penny case up until now, because I watch a lot of YouTube. Again, I don't watch. I'm only getting into X now, and I imagine in Canada there's a lot of news that we don't get, and they filter out. And perhaps that's what it was for the Daniel Penny case for me. Because now that I'm on X, I'm scrolling and looking and finding all this information about it, and it's quite shocking, the case with Daniel Penny. It really is. It's really unfortunate, and I pray and hope that this young man does not go to jail, because wow, tragic. But yeah, it's a battle for information.